we're not live yet, but we're about to be in about 10 seconds, hopefully. Come on, connect. Come on, connect. It's connected. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
And go live. And we'll just wait a second here for everything to catch up with us.
Okay.
I hope it does. And if you're ready, I think we are live. That's what Thaddeus says. We are live, Mr. Allen. And yes, we're live. Go for it.
All right. Welcome to the Hot Take with Chrissy and Will. I am Will. I'm here. Place of Chrissy at the moment. She's not feeling well at the moment. And she'll be calling in.
Yeah, she'll be calling in
shortly. We'll be talking about some of the things that have been going on with her. But for right about now, I think it'll be myself and Alan for now.
For right now, yes,
For now.
sir. Let's roll the start. Yeah, so Will, you drove down again today from Jacksonville and made it just in time.
All right. Yeah, barely. A little bit of traffic.
Oh, good job though. That's you know. Do you take 95 down?
Oh, yes. Yes, 95 take 95.
95 is probably the worst road in the world.
It's horrible.
I mean, I appreciate you doing it to come down, but
I just wish everyone would just stay out of the left-hand lane,
Well, you go
slow driving.
Yeah, you go in the left-hand lane to slow down, don't you?
Oh.
But yeah, so let's start off today. We're going to take. I think Chrissy's going to call in a little while.
Mm-hmm.
But before she does, let's talk about this drone issue. What do you think about this?
Oh, it's an interesting topic there.
Yeah.
Huge breach of national security is something very scary.
Yeah.
Very scary.
Yeah. I did a Facebook post the other day on it with my theory.
Right. Okay. Go ahead.
And my theory is there's a rumor going around that of course, it's always Russia, right? Russia.
Yeah.
But there's a theory going around that Russia or Iran or somebody over there has planted a dirty bomb somewhere around New Jersey or whatever.
Right.
And so these drones, which are supposedly our military, are seeking out any kind of radioactive trace to find this dirty bomb.
Right.
And they're not finding anything.
That's true. That's right.
What if...
Mm-hmm.
What if it's a false flag that they're hunting for a dirty bomb that hasn't been planted by Russia?
Right.
What if we planted a dirty bomb? I mean, we've done things like that for the Vietnam War.
That's true.
And stuff like this. What if we planted it to detonate it and start World War III? Because NATO, Trump doesn't like NATO.
Right.
So, and he has said that if the other people don't start paying their fair share, we're out.
Right.
Well, NATO, the NATO people make a lot of money.
Right.
Right. Not the soldiers, but the higher ups.
Of course not. Yeah.
Yeah, they make a lot of money.
Right.
And so if they're afraid that Trump might come out of NATO, best way to keep you in NATO is you have a war.
Of course.
Over there. And I mean, these things are flying around. If they're military, I mean, if they're foreign,
right.
Our military would take them down.
Should have.
Should
have. Yeah.
If they're able to avoid radar detection, or they go invisible or whatever you call it, when our radar locks onto them, we would take them down.
We should. But remember now, what about the blimp that came in, or the big balloon that came in, and no one shot it down?
Yeah, and I agree with you with that. Well, that was, the Biden syndicate. They can't take it down because that was Chinese, and they're making too much money.
Right. I'm like, a huge balloon just flying over our borders.
Yeah,
now.
well, I mean, they took it down after it got all the data that it could find going across the entire country.
Yeah, eventually. Right.
But I just think that these drones are ours.
Yes.
Otherwise, we would. I mean, they went out and buzzed around a Coast Guard ship, right?
Right.
we wouldn't allow that.
No, not
We
at
wouldn't
all.
allow that.
Not at all.
So
Immediately shoot it down.
Yeah.
That
And
doesn't
and they're saying we can't shoot it down over land because it might land. Well, that's over the ocean.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we could have shot them down. We
Easily,
didn't.
easily.
So I just, I don't have a warm and fuzzy about this.
No, I don't.
But we shall see.
What can we say? Or it could have been sent from an Iranian ship. It could have been sent from an Iranian ship. That was one of the theories.
Right. But were it sent from an Iranian ship and buzzing a Coast Guard ship?
No way.
Down it goes.
Yeah, of course.
You know?
Yeah.
And they're saying they're coming up out of the water and stuff like that. To me, maybe they are on a submarine.
Right.
And on the deck, and they're releasing them. I don't know.
That's
on a
true.
boat that's over the horizon, so it looks like it's coming out of the water. I don't know where they're coming from. I don't know anything about them. I just know they're going over our military bases. They're going over Coast Guard stuff, and we're saying nothing.
Yeah, that's what gets me, because also with drones you can use them to release pesticides or stuff like that.
Right.
I mean, there could be a chemical agent.
Could be anything.
Anything.
There's a book that I read years ago. I don't know if you've heard of it or not. It's an older book. It's called A Higher Form of Killing.
Are
Are you familiar with the book?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's all about how our government did secret biological tests against our people.
Yes.
For one of the big things that I remember in that book was out in off California. I think it was off San Diego or maybe San Francisco.
Right. I think it was San Diego.
San Diego. Yeah, they had the fireboats, fire truck fireboats, spraying water up in the air that they had laced the water with the flu virus to see how many people on shore would catch the flu.
That's right.
And tested to see, use it. Can they use it as a biological weapon later?
Right.
But then they did the syphilis thing to the black population.
Right. That's true.
I mean, nasty stuff that they've done.
Tuskegee Airmen, that issue.
Horrible. And
it's just,
they will do it.
Oh, yeah.
They have done it.
We'll do it to the American people. It's just horrible.
They do it to our own people.
Yeah.
It's illegal to do it somewhere else.
Oh,
so they do it to us.
Of course. Think about it like that. Yeah.
No, it's scary. It's scary.
It is scary.
I just noticed that Fatima Senna from Empower Gym is watching us today.
Right.
Hello.
Excellent.
And JR, hey man, I haven't seen you in a long time. I hope you're doing well. We need to catch up. JR Meyer, he's a cool guy.
All right.
I haven't seen him in a long time. Glad you're listening. So I don't want to say I don't trust our government,
right?
But I'm going to.
Right. I mean,
I don't trust them.
Why?
Yeah. Why? Why trust them?
Right.
They've played too many games,
Yes,
And I'm very hopeful that our new president-elect, when he gets into office, can trash a bunch of this stuff. But there's so many people that deep state-wise that are entrenched, like FBI.
Oh, of course.
And not the FBI guy in the field.
No.
The FBI leadership.
Yeah.
I mean, the Hunter laptop that they said, oh, that's nothing, and it really is something.
Right,
and they had it in their hands for a long time.
Oh, yeah, and that's gone.
And then, Biden just did an 11-year, go back 11 years, what do you call it? What did he do? What's it called? When you get rid of it for
not exonerate, but he oh gosh, I'm having a moment here too.
Yeah, it's apparently it's
pardon.
Anyway, pardon. There you go. It's a big word. That's why we couldn't get it. Big word. But yeah, so he did an 11-year pardon.
Yes.
Because obviously it's him too.
Right.
Right. Why would you pardon everything for 11 years? I mean, it's unheard of.
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to hide a whole bunch of stuff. But you can come through the back door.
He did a lot of things.
Yeah.
He did a lot of things. And there are a lot of people that have done things that are similar.
Yes.
And if let's say if you or I did that, we'd be in some serious trouble.
Instantly.
They put us under the prison.
Instantly. Well, hey, Chrissy, if you're listening, I don't know if you are yet, but go ahead and give us a call. We'd love to talk to you. And anybody else, if you got anything you'd like to discuss, well, we're doing the hot take with Chrissy, but Chrissy's not here right now because, well, let's talk about it for a second.
Yes.
So, Chrissy, who is the host of this show, the Hot Take with Chrissy, she came on board the Flagler Voice Podcast Studio what, month and a half, 2 months ago, maybe?
Yeah, about 2 months ago. It's
About
gotta
2
be
months ago, yeah.
2 months.
And I'm telling you, she was knocking it dead. She's
Yes,
doing
yes,
amazing.
she's amazing.
And
Great topics.
and you might know the story better than I do,
Yes.
but she dropped her kid off at school,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, she wasn't feeling well. She just says, she's using her breathing machine. She says, "Oh, I can't." I said, "Go to the ER." She said, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to the ER." I said, "Yeah, go there now." So,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
thank God she did because
Yeah, because they discovered that she had myocarditis,
yes,
which is
yes,
inflammation of the heart,
of the heart.
which, if untreated over a period of time, becomes congestive heart failure,
Yes, and
which she has.
And she has congestive heart failure.
So
right.
her heart function, I believe, is at 23%.
Well, last time it was 22. I thought it's 22, but
22,
yeah, 22 or
I mean,
23.
that's
Either
a
one.
different- Yeah, they're both bad.
Still 1 point. Yeah, it's still
They're both
horrible.
bad.
It's just
and her blood pressure is sky
through the roof.
high.
Yeah.
And they have. I mean, she's been talking about it too, so it's not like we're violating any HEPA rules
she's
or whatever. She's
posted things.
Yeah, she's
it
posted
reels.
things. So she's wearing a defibrillator vest.
Yes.
And you're not supposed to put a woman's age out there, but I'll turn the
I'm not
camera.
doing
I'll turn
that.
the camera on me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Camera's on me now,
That's
so
on
now
you.
you can say it. They
Oh
can't.
no.
Well, she's under 40, correct? I don't know what her age is. I don't know how old she is.
We're the same age, but
Okay, so how old are you?
I'm a little over 40. I'm not stupid either. Okay.
I tried.
I'm a couple of ticks over 40. You can say that. Yeah.
Okay, young anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
young. Yeah.
Well, you are. I mean, 40's the new what? 21.
Well, right. That's nice. No, definitely.
So she's very young.
Yeah,
and
she is.
Suddenly
she is. She's in
developed.
great shape too. She works out a lot and everything. She's in great shape.
She runs or
Oh, gosh.
was running and,
No,
and
she's
all
a
kinds of
runner.
stuff. Yeah,
She run miles and stuff, and I'm like, nah, look,
and apparently, 5 weeks ago or so, she had walking pneumonia,
yes, then that was the problem.
and that was the problem because the virus went to her heart.
Yes.
And there's a lot of people, younger people,
Yeah.
your age,
Thank you.
catching pneumonia lately.
Yes.
And it's a question: why are so many people suddenly getting that, and why are so many younger people developing these heart issues?
Right.
It's scary.
It is,
It's sad.
It is.
And some people point towards the COVID vaccine.
Right.
And
right,
if you Google is a potential side effect of the COVID-19 vaccine myocarditis,
right.
it will come up. Yes,
will come
it
up,
is.
right,
It says it's rare.
Right.
Well, what does that mean? It's only 5 out of 10. I mean, 4 out of 10 rather. 4 out of 10 is less than 50%. So does that make it rare? I don't know. I don't know what the number is, but I do know that a lot of friends of mine that are doctors are talking about a noticeable uptick
Yes.
in this, and the apparent common denominator
Right.
is the vaccine.
Right. And see, I mean, when I was younger, I had high blood pressure. I was a little chunkier too, but I was like younger. I had no issues with blood pressure, like in my late 20s, going in my early 30s. And then I, better diet, stuff like that worked out. But then I was thinking to myself with the vaccine, I had to take it at the time because, with
Because
the
you
job, that was,
same
and I was
reason she took it.
Like, I was like, yep, same reason. I was thinking, and went ahead and did it. And I don't know.
Yeah.
It makes you think,
Yeah, things are, it can be scary.
It is very scary.
It
Very
is scary.
Yeah, it's very
But
scary.
that's another one of those government things.
Right, right.
Oh, it's safe. It's safe.
Oh,
And then
please.
first they come out and say, well, you need the vaccine so you won't catch COVID.
Mhm.
Then you need the vaccine because it lessens the symptoms of COVID.
Right.
And then, oh no, you need to get the vaccine so that you don't spread COVID to other people. And the spread of COVID then became, it's spreading because other people aren't vaccinated.
Yep.
Everything they said was BS.
Right.
And
I ended up getting it twice anyway. So
you had it twice?
Oh
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
I had it once.
Okay.
I probably almost 3 years ago now.
Okay.
Actually, no. No, it had to be almost exactly 4 years ago.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I came home. I was campaigning. I was stupid enough to run for an office. And I was campaigning hard, and
Why not?
everything was over, and I didn't win.
Oh,
And I got home, and I thought, wow, I'm just mentally and physically exhausted.
it drains you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So at 9 o'clock that night, I'd say, I'm going to go to bed. I'm just exhausted. So I go to bed. I did not wake up for 3 days.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah. Didn't wake up. I didn't even get out of bed to use nothing. I was comatose for 3 days.
I can eat anything. I personally.
I didn't open my eyes. Nothing. I was gone. My wife was concerned because I didn't have life insurance.
Oh no! Oh no!
No, she was concerned.
Oh my!
But she was concerned because I hadn't opened my eyes for 3 days. I was still breathing, but I wasn't doing anything else. And then the lack of energy. It was probably 2-3 weeks before I felt any steam coming back. So. It's bad stuff. It's bad stuff.
It is bad stuff.
And where it came from originally, who knows? But
we don't know. But
we don't know. A Chinese lab.
I think it's from a lab. Personally,
well, they were doing that gain of function stuff on it, and then here it is.
That's right. That's right.
So you can't trust any of that stuff.
No, of course not.
But so Chrissy had. She had the vaccine. Yes. But it was a little while ago.
That was a while ago, yeah.
Yeah. But, it appears, and this is my opinion, I'm not a doctor, not a lawyer, not any of that stuff. This is just observational opinion.
That's right.
Is that it seems that the vaccine in some people, if you have something wrong with you, the start of cancer or whatever, it exacerbates it. It turns it into turbo cancer.
It sure does, yes.
And, young people, again, your age.
Okay, thank you.
Young people are getting cancer that gets detected, normally slow cancer, gets detected, and then a few weeks later, it's stage 4 and they're gone.
Yeah.
And why is that happening? Why is it happening? There's only one common denominator.
That is true. I'm losing I've lost a lot of friends, stuff like that.
It's
lately.
Scary stuff.
It's scary.
It is.
It is.
It's scary stuff. But, the drones, are they spraying scary stuff on us? Who knows?
Anything.
Who knows? I don't think that it's, I don't think it is what they're pretending it is.
No.
Nothing has been apparently what they're pretending it is.
That's right.
And, what really upsets me is that close friends like Chrissy are being affected by something that we were all told was safe.
It was safe, right. And we needed this for our safety and others. And
right.
We had trust when it comes to government, our public officials.
Yeah, I mean, you're supposed to be able to, right?
You're supposed to.
Yeah.
You're supposed to, yeah.
And, Fauci, I personally think he should be in jail. Or worse.
Right.
But, they all seem to, I mean, even the pharmaceutical companies had the government sign an agreement that you can't sue them if something goes wrong. And it came out as an experimental drug because they hadn't done any human trials.
Right.
And then they're trying to say, well, we've given, 5 million vaccinations and only 500,000 people died. So I don't know what the numbers were. Yeah, well, but so it's safe.
Oh, it comes down to one thing. Money
always comes down to money.
Day, all day, every day.
Yeah, that's the part that's it's a shame because it's always money. Always money. The war machine, and I support our military 100%, and we need the war machine.
Yes, we need it. Yes,
but we don't need to play with it like
it's not a toy.
Yeah, and the proxy wars to test out our latest invention.
Right.
I believe Ukraine is a proxy war, and I'm going to catch a lot of heck for what I'm about to say, but I tend to say it anyway.
Sounds good.
So there were treaties
Mm-hmm.
back from World War I, World War II, and just a few years ago,
Mm-hmm.
there were treaties between us, or I should say NATO, us, and Russia,
All right.
that no country
Mm-hmm.
bordering the Russian border, and you can Google this and find it, would ever join NATO.
Right. Right.
However,
Mm-hmm.
under President Biden's administration,
Mm-hmm.
they were invited into NATO.
Right.
Right? Ukraine was invited into NATO.
Yes.
And
yes.
and just before that, there was a vote for the, I can't remember if it's the eastern part or western part, whatever it is.
Oh, that's right.
Let's see who this is. Hello.
Hey guys, I'm calling in.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
There you are.
I missed you guys. I
miss you
didn't
too.
see what the topic was tonight. I finally just got my little vest fixed. It was going off, so I was trying to do that before I got zapped.
Going
no.
off because there's an issue, or going off because it was malfunctioning?
It was not reading. So when your heart rate doesn't read properly on the vest, it sends out alerts that it's not reading it. So if you don't fix it in time, it'll send out a shock to you.
Oh.
So, and it's equivalent of getting hit in the chest with a baseball bat or getting kicked by a horse, apparently. So I'm trying to avoid that.
Yeah. Well, especially if it was just a malfunction going on.
Of course.
I mean, if you needed it, you needed it. But
I'll do a podcast on these. The way that the healthcare is now, especially when it comes to your heart, these came out in 2002, these vests, and you have to wear these for 3 to 6 months, along with taking medication to see if that doesn't work before they even approve for your heart to have surgery, unless it's in a medical dire need. A weak heart is not really considered that, even though it's very hard to function without your heart working at full capacity. But the way that insurances are, it's kind of crazy, especially like with these vests now and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
well, we were, before you came on, you were the subject of our discussion.
Oh,
Yes, of course.
That's always good.
Yeah, but your situation wasn't, but or isn't.
No, it's been a rough week, but I hope to see you guys next week or the week after. As long as I'm okay to sit, I should be okay to do a podcast. So,
well, we can wheel a hospital bed right into the studio.
Yeah, we can.
I'm glad the new portable equipment's working.
Oh yeah,
one from the remote.
We have a.
I had a great ICU suite at Advent Health for quite a while. So that was interesting. That's another whole podcast. Let me tell you about that. Oh my gosh.
Well, lots of good content as long as you're healthy and you can laugh and talk about it. We don't want the stuff to get worse.
No, not at all.
You know.
No,
It's
I'm
not the same
praying to
without
God the medicine works. It's just going to be a long road. But are you guys talking about drones tonight, or what are we talking about?
Oh yeah, we were talking about drones. We were talking about a book called it's an older book that both Will and I have read, which I find it really cool that he read it too, called A Higher Form of Killing, and it's about how our government has tested biological weapons, or I guess it is biological weapons.
Yes.
It's tested biological weapons against us. What's that?
My son actually just read that book a few months ago. No joke.
Yeah, see, it's a scary book.
And the craziest thing is, like, these drones, the government knows what's going on. Biden came on TV today. I don't know if you all saw what a joke that was. I don't even think he knows what day of the week it is, and it's almost Christmas.
No.
But he started talking about how we all know that it's up there, and didn't answer why, though. Like, if we know they're up there, and he's like, one drone came up, and then everyone else just started flying drones, and the government knows, but they just keep flying drones around. It made no sense at all. It's like a tossed word salad, like the other one.
Well, the drones,
Kamala.
The drones that regular people are flying are the small little drones might be a foot and a half, and
These
can
are
lift
small.
a couple pounds. But these things are the size of a school bus,
Right.
in some instances.
Yeah.
These aren't little toy drones, and
I
don't know about you. I own a little drone.
Oh yeah.
But it doesn't go invisible if it gets locked on by a radar.
No, and what is
mine
it
doesn't shoot
spraying?
rockets
Did
either.
you see some of these drones?
What's
Some
that?
of these drones are spraying stuff. Some of these drones are spraying stuff like our mosquito control airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen, especially in New Jersey, they've got all of these sightings now of these drones spraying something, and nobody knows what the hell it is. I'd be a little concerned if I was over in that area, not going to lie.
Yeah, of course. Well, we were discussing, from that book, A Higher Form of Killing, that one of the things that our government did was over off of did we agree with San Diego?
I think it's San Diego.
San Diego,
I
yeah.
have to look it up.
Our government got some fire boats, they're like fire trucks, but boats, that can spray water to put out a fire, and they put the flu virus in the water that they were spraying up over San Diego to see if people would get sick from it in San Diego. And so it was a test. Yes, they did that. So, and then the syphilis that they did experiment in the black community, I think that was in Georgia mostly.
It was in Georgia, yeah.
Yes,
This is horrible, and it's almost very scary because, even what I'm going through, my doctor, my cardiologist, is adamant about, because I was forced to get the COVID vaccine, the first one, to be able to work. I was forced to get it, and he said there's such a trend right now with that virus and young, healthy people getting their hearts attacked the minute they get a respiratory virus now, that it's so sad because it could have been prevented. And if they're doing stuff like this in the air, who the hell knows, what this means for us and what's going to happen and what actually is going on. It's almost scary.
Oh yeah, 100%. And we also, oddly enough, we were discussing the side effect of the COVID-19 vaccine just before you came on, and that myocarditis leading into congestive heart failure is a side effect. That's right. Even though we were told it's completely safe.
Yeah, of course.
It's a side effect, and unfortunately, you got the side effect.
Yeah, I never had COVID. I just had the vaccine. My son has had COVID 4 times.
Oh.
Me and my daughter never had COVID. She had COVID 4 weeks ago 5 weeks ago, and I was sick with pneumonia. And she had COVID. I didn't end up testing positive, but what the doctor said essentially was I had pneumonia, and the antibiotics they gave me started to clear out my lungs, but then the myocarditis started, the CHF fluid started, and then my kidneys, because of all the fluid, wasn't working properly to function all the fluid out, so that put the strain on my heart, which led to the congestive heart failure. I actually had all symptoms of stage 4, and I was also septic last week when I went in. So to treat sepsis, you have to bolus fluids, and I had CHF, and you can't do that. So I've been in between trying to find the happy medium. Right now I'm trying to dehydrate my body, but I also need to keep hydrating it to keep the infection out. So it's like a catch-22, but he said, you're a prime example of somebody who I think that got that damn shot and now is going to have problems. And he says that it's not just me. I mean, I'm a young, healthy adult, but also in children my son's age. He said especially the males that can't play football, that can't do anything because as soon as they get a respiratory infection, now it goes straight to their heart, which you guys have heard, I'm sure, about all the stories about athletes that either have heart problems now because of it. And it's very scary. And I wish we had more time to develop a vaccine and make sure it was safe and not being forced to have it, because I would never have had it. I was forced, otherwise I couldn't go back to work. My kids were forced, otherwise they couldn't go into school.
Well, I think
there's going to be a lot of things coming up.
I think some class action suits have already started because of that. Might want to look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I know there's some class action suits on it. And the thing is that, being forced to put an experimental drug into yourself that has not been tested long term on a human trial, is, I mean, what the hell was people thinking? It just
like Meadow,
we're desperate.
When she was just like my daughter, she developed epilepsy when she was 4, but they traced it all the way back to when I was 34 weeks pregnant. I was going into labor early. They ended up giving me a steroid shot that helped mature her lungs, and I forgot the name of it. But there's a class action lawsuit now because children who have gotten that shot to develop their lungs are now developing epilepsy and
Unreal.
autism and several different things that are contributed to that shot that they make you get. So yeah, it's not just one thing. It's a whole bunch of things. And like going back to the drones, if they're spraying shit as tests or whatever, like it's insane. I don't think it's another country, because I think if it was another country, we would
No,
be
it's not
shooting
another
that shit
country.
down.
Yeah,
But
No, I
yeah,
don't
I
believe.
think it's our own country.
it is.
Yeah, I mean, we were discussing just before you came on about the, the drones circling a Coast Guard ship and all. There's no
Yeah.
way that we would allow that to happen. And the excuse, well, we can't shoot them down because they might crash into somebody's house or something.
No.
But out on the ocean around a Coast
I
Guard
thought you had
ship,
to have a permit.
yeah,
Don't you have to have a permit to fly one that's over a certain size,
Well,
anyways?
yes,
the
yeah.
airbase where-
A private
certain
jet.
size, and if you're and depending what you're flying it for, yes, there's supposed to be permits. But I don't know anybody
FAA,
that has a hobby school bus flying
No,
drone.
that large. No.
No, and
No,
I don't know why those
with
are getting
rockets.
shot down or something, or finding out
'Cause
where
they're
the hell
ours.
they're coming from, unless
They're coming from us.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only
that
explanation as
crazy?
to why they aren't doing it,
That's correct.
in my mind, anyway.
I'm wondering if there's terrorists inside our group, though, that might be flying them around for some other reason.
Well, I don't
I
think
always
I don't.
believe that.
I mean, when you read that book, A Higher Form of Killing, you find out that the terrorists are us, so against ourselves.
Well,
Right.
that,
You
yeah,
know,
that's
it's
true,
scary.
but
But
I
on a
mean,
lighter note,
you know
though,
there's American.
on a quick lighter note, you'll be happy to know that we were having a discussion about your age, and I don't know your age, and
Well.
Will wouldn't say your age.
Well,
He just kept saying that you
I
were.
am 44.
you're my buddy.
Oh, you
Okay,
said it.
44.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Now
yes.
we're safe.
I'm 44 as well.
I was
See?
34, and I was shortly before this. I was actually training for a half marathon, because my goal in October of next year for my birthday was to run the New York Marathon, and you have to run certain 3 marathons to get approved. So I started marathon training a couple months ago. I was running 8-minute miles right before I got sick with pneumonia. And as soon as I got sick, I knew there was an issue, and I couldn't even walk up a stair without feeling like I was going to die or pass out. And I ended up passing out. That's why I ended up in the hospital, because my heart just couldn't take it. But I was really in shape.
Well-
and so that's the hardest part about this.
Well, I believe that God up in heaven has the book of life,
Oh, yes.
and he knows when you're going to die and all of that stuff. It's all written.
That's so
and
true.
I believe
Mm-hmm.
that the mechanism to know is heartbeats.
Yes.
And so when you exercise and start ticking that heart faster, you're just flying them heartbeats out faster. So I think exercise is a killer,
Yeah.
and that's
Oh.
why I only run to the bathroom occasionally.
Okay, I see you were going with that. I was like, wait a minute.
He told me that if I was 10 years older, I would have been dead.
Ugh.
And if I wasn't as in shape, I would have been dead. He said the way your heart, like right now, my heart's functioning at a 92, 93-year-old man right now. And he said if you got away with it as long as you did because of how in shape you were, but it's going to take you longer to recover now because it went on so long because you were in shape, that if you weren't, you would have been dead.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it
Your
took a
heart
while
wouldn't
to
be
get
able
there.
to-
It's going to take a while to get
Oh, yeah.
out of it.
Yeah.
I work
So
out myself.
yeah, 44 doesn't mean it doesn't mean anything with your age.
Yeah.
No.
Well, see,
I mean,
you're,
me and Will are
We
the
work
same
out.
age.
Yeah, we work out.
and
Yeah, hey.
Will is young, so that makes you young.
Yeah, we're both young.
See, you're both young.
I work out, but I
love
can't run a
working out.
marathon.
That's always been my outlet.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love working out. That's my outlet. When I get stressed out, I just go for a run. I've always loved working out. The gym, my son's, he's going to make a state weightlifting team this year, and
Wow.
he did very well last year. And having him
yeah,
do
he's
that
good.
pushes me for my personal goals. Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Oh, man.
So yeah, it's been hard because he's off to the gym, and I'm sitting here having to look at him like I can't go. It's very hard.
Yeah.
So, but he
Well,
said
you actually
exercise
can't do it.
strengthens your heart. It makes it.
You actually can't do much of anything, right?
I'm not allowed to do anything. Like even I try to wrap a present. Today it took an hour and a half just because it's so exhausting.
Yeah.
Walking to the bathroom, even taking a shower. I'm only allowed to take my vest off for 10 minutes a day to grab a shower real quick, and that's it. I have been told I'm not allowed to go do anything physical or work for 3 to 6 months. And after that, I have to go to cardiac rehab, which is a center right by the hospital. So when you do start exercising, in case you have a heart issue, you're right there at the ER. That was awesome to find out. I'm like, oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Something I want to do, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you drop dead, you're right there at the ER. But this is going to be a very slow process. And I was very physical with my job, going through all of 6,000, 7,000 square foot luxury homes all along the beach. I can't walk upstairs. And today I had to sit down and have a real hard truth with myself. And I might have to get rid of my company, because I don't have enough girls trained right now to handle. This is the busiest time of year for me, holidays, and like, you know, big events, bike week and stuff. And I don't have the staff right now to keep up with it. So yeah, it's been difficult, but get through it and I'll figure it out. And hopefully maybe some good sponsors will come in for the podcast and we'll get super busy on that. And we've got some great topics and great things coming up, so I'm super excited about.
We have some really
that
good
endeavor.
stuff coming up.
Yeah, but Chrissy, you do have plenty of family members, plenty of friends to help you out in this situation.
Right. Yeah, you are not alone.
You're not alone, okay?
No, and for the first 3 days, I was sitting in my room after, you know, cardiologists, they're nice, but some of them don't have the best bedside manners, so they come in and tell you all of these things that you're doomed for, and then they just leave the room and you're sitting there, what does this mean? And I've had my emotional breakdowns and getting through it. I think it's emotionally difficult for me because my outlet has always been physical, and I can't do that now. Yeah. So I'm having to find other means to be able to handle life, which is hard when it's very minimal of what you can do.
Right.
So it's just a new life that I have to deal with, and I hope I can prove my doctors wrong. And he did tell me I might not be able to run again, and I'm going to fight that because I love running and I want to run again, so I'm going to, keep my journey. And
one of the other issues they discovered was you have a leaky valve, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, my right ventricle is leaking. Yeah, my heart right now is only pumping out 22%. It's not even working a fifth of what it should right now.
Yeah,
and that's a problem. So he said you might not ever be able to run again.
Can they fix the valve?
I can prove you wrong.
Can they fix the valve or replace it?
I have to keep going to have echoes done, and every 2 weeks I'm having echoes done. And as the fluid starts to go away, I'm on Lasix and everything. My heart, if it gets stronger and the medicine works, if the fluid stops leaking, I don't have to have surgery. But there's a high possibility that the ventricle will still be leaking, and you have to have surgery to repair that. And I would be referred to the Mayo Clinic.
You might want to go up there anyway.
Yeah.
I've heard that, and I think I'm going to go for a second opinion and just see if there's other options of other things I can do to maybe speed up my healing a little bit, because this is kind of just, my blood pressure is 173 over 123 this morning.
Stroke
and trying
level.
to balance. It is. It's been, I was 200 and something over 140 when I got to the hospital, but I had also been blacking out because of my blood pressure, not realizing it was the stress on my heart. So I want to just get a second opinion anyways. Everyone's been telling me to go to Mayo, especially when it comes to your heart.
Well, you know, with all due respect to Advent here, because, you know, they are a local hospital and I'm not going to diss on anybody, but they aren't specialized in heart issues.
No.
Mayo has specialists that this is what they do.
That's true.
And, if you have the insurance or the money or whatever, I don't know your situation at all, but...
Yeah, I have insurance, so I'm actually going to call tomorrow and see. My cardiologist is a very smart man, and he's very good at what he does, but like you said, they don't really specialize down here too much in those kind of things. And, so I definitely did want to get a second opinion. Now, I will say, Advent, I went to the new hospital.
Right.
And the one thing that I did take away from that, it was nice and clean and beautiful, but they're very unexperienced, it felt like, compared to the other hospital. Like, we got a lot of the newbies there. So when a code would happen, the whole floor would friggin' shut down. It's like you would wait 3 hours for your medicine or something happened. Like, the whole floor, they're so inexperienced. There were more of the newer nurses. So like I said, the whole floor shut down for hours. So if you were waiting for medicine or anything, you were waiting a while.
Right.
That was the only thing I've noticed with that hospital. But other than that, there were some great new nurses that I had. They were wonderful, especially male nurses. I never had so many male nurses in my life, and they were wonderful,
Well,
which was good to see because you always think it's just a woman.
My mother-in-law was there, I don't know, a month or so ago. She's elderly. She has dementia. She fell. She fractured, not broke, but fractured her pelvis in 3 places. And I will say the Advent with her were fantastic. They did an amazing job with her. But again, they're not specialists. They took care of her, but she wasn't really broken. She was fractured. And now she's walking again. So it's amazing. But yeah, you know, all due respect to Advent and all the doctors around here and all of that stuff, I would be really happy to see you go up to Mayo.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep, I'm going to go to Mayo. And, you would get a kick out of this, you two. I was in the ER getting wheeled to nuclear med, and the guy who was transporting me to nuclear med said, "Hey, you're Chrissy from the Hot Topic." I was podcast last night about cheaters, and I'm sitting there, and my dad was like right behind me, and he's like, "I didn't realize how much everybody knows about you in this area." I said, "I had no idea either," and I'm feeling so bad. I'm like seeing 3 of this guy, and he's sitting there telling everybody in the station. He actually reached out to me a few days ago to check up on me. He couldn't believe what had happened with my heart and everything. And that was really cool, though. It was really cool to see that. And I'm like, we're getting out there. You know, if the guy who's wheeling me around watches this and the people here at the hospital, we're getting big, Will.
I know, right? And, Chrissy,
you guys are famous.
But Chrissy, you missed out on the intro.
Funny. I went upstairs and everyone's like, she's got a podcast. Make sure you watch out for her. And one of my aunts went a little crazy because she wasn't getting the information. I'm like, they're going to say something about me or something, so we got to be good. So,
yeah.
But it was funny. But yeah, hopefully maybe next week I'll be able to come into Thursday night show if we have one after Christmas and talk to everybody. And I've got some really cool topics, not just about this, but coming up that I'm excited about. And some new shows.
And we have 3 new shows that I know of that I'm not sure you know of, but we have 3 new shows that are going to come on board. And you know, with Juan, we're doing the mechanic show. I gotta advertise that more for next week. I wasn't sure we were gonna do it because you weren't there. Yeah, well, I wasn't sure you were gonna be here, so I didn't advertise the show.
Oh yeah, no, I'll come back and
I'll help
do some hot questions with him in between, and we'll do some rapid fire questions, and keep it interesting.
Oh, of course.
And I got a doctor that's going to be coming on and talking about health. I got a realtor after the first of the year that's going to be with us talking about real estate, mortgage brokers, title companies, things like that. I got a lawyer who's going to be talking besides just family law, a bunch of other things. So I've been doing some business in the background a little bit here. So I'm super excited about the first of the year. And I just hope that we get a bunch of sponsors to bring in for our shows, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I think a lot of growth is going to be happening. So
it is, and fortunately for you, it's not physical, so it might be your new career.
I know, and that's why my dad said to me the other day. He just said, might be time to look for something else that's more suited. And I said I could sit in that podcast chair and do a whole bunch of stuff, hopefully, that maybe I can't do with my job. And sometimes God puts things in your path and changes your path around to change you, to force you to 100%. Move. So
he has the plan.
This might have been divine intervention, Alan.
Right. Well, he has the plan.
It might be. He's got the, we don't know what the plan is.
He does.
Right. I would have preferred a cold or something I could get over in a few days. Hey, if you wanted to knock me down for this,
I heard you're stubborn. It takes a little bit more to get you to move.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Oh, Will knows that.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
yes.
But you know what? It's so hard when you're our boss and you run your house and you're in charge of 2 kids and you're busy and you just fix things on your own constantly. You don't ask people for help. You rely on yourself, and you get so used to that it's hard to get out of that.
Yeah.
And I think that was the hardest part, was like watching my dad help and all of my family and just be in tears, being like, I wish I could do that. I can't even physically go to the store right now and go Christmas shopping. I've got 2 kids. I didn't have all that stuff done. And to have other people have to do that for me, it was heartbreaking. It still is heartbreaking, and no, it's definitely different, and but also it's good to have family and friends that you can count on in times like this.
It's a blessing because you're not alone.
Will and Alan, you guys have been wonderful. Thank you for checking up on me. Sometimes when I needed that text the most, I got it, and just needed to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
So it was good. It's good to have that outlet.
Well, you know, I've only known you 2 months, maybe. Actually, well, I guess we knew each other over the phone when you worked for.
We've seen each other socially, with Waste Pro or garbage companies, and I've seen you like when you ran for office a couple times. I was helping Trey Corbett out, so we would run in passing, and I knew a couple of our mutual friends. We would see each other at like gatherings and stuff. But you know, what's so weird is Palm Coast is not a big town, but is a big town. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of the people have been around for a while. So,
well, when I first moved here, and the population I think was around 3,500, you felt like
what
you
year
knew.
Was that?
83.
Oh, okay.
I moved in '98.
Well,
we had a Walmart. We had a Kmart. Remember that, Alan?
Oh yeah, the Kmart. Yep.
And McDonald's. Yep, that was pretty much it. We
well,
had Kmart. I
was in the late 90s
even have
too.
Those anymore.
Like 2000.
When I moved here, the only traffic light was the one that's over at the intersection of Palm Coast Parkway and Belterre, not Belterre, Old Kings Road.
Old Kings.
Yeah, that was the only street light. There was no McDonald's, no Wendy's. The Staples Shopping Center didn't exist.
Wow. Did you have a KFC?
They used to be at Scotty's.
KFC was the first one that came in. Scotty's, that came in later. Yeah.
I remember Scotty's. I actually sold cell phones there when I was like 18 years old.
Well, you know,
I sold them to contractors when they first came out. Those big box phones at Scotty's.
In '97, I think it was, when the fires came through. The second time around, the fires came through Palm Coast.
Yeah.
Yep.
My house burnt down.
Oh.
It was the only house on my street that burnt down. It was the only house on the street with a fire hydrant in the front yard.
Wow.
And it burnt down.
You had a fire hydrant.
F section. It was on Flanders Lane. Okay. And
wow.
Interestingly, I don't know how, but Scotty's. Well, Scotty's used to be my home away from home before they went out and Home Depot came in. Now Home Depot's my home away from home. But Scotty somehow found out that my house burnt down, and they had this giveaway and they gave me some new tools. They gave me,
cool.
Yeah, they gave me a battery drill and some other things because I lost all my tools in the garage. Wow. And so Scotty's was really cool. I really liked Scotty's.
That's cool.
And one of the people in there, her name just left my mind. She was a cashier there. She's a cashier at Home Depot. Oh. So she's been doing construction related cashiering. I can't remember her name. Since back at the Scotty's time.
It's amazing.
And Scotty's, prior to Scotty's, it was Walmart.
Okay.
Then Walmart moved over to where they are now, and Scotty's came in. Okay. And then when Scotty's went out, Bell's took the whole section there. Okay. And then Bell's split their stuff with Staples. Okay. And Bell's went over into where the Winn-Dixie Shopping Center, and Staples took over that whole area. Right. And I used to have from I think it was like 2003 to somewhere around 2006, 2007. I don't remember exactly. Okay. I used to have a scuba shop.
Oh, excellent.
In next to Staples. It's now a nails salon.
Yeah. I remember that scuba shop. I didn't know you owned it.
Oh, yeah. And I used to have a bird, a sulfur-crested cockatoo that was in the window that would dance when people went by.
Oh, that's cool.
Her name was Frida.
Oh,
wow.
Cool.
That's
Scuba Steve. Will, we could call him Scuba Steve.
Scuba Steve. That's right, Scuba Steve.
A really good friend of mine named Steve was my dive master there, so we had Scuba Steve with us.
Okay.
Yeah,
wow.
so you can't call,
awesome.
I'm Scuba Al.
Okay.
But yeah, it was fun. But the population wasn't large enough to handle it at that time. It is now. But we also, the tag office moved in over there for your property taxes and stuff.
Right.
And it moved next door to the dive shop, and I was thinking, oh wow, this is great. Everybody has to go there. Oh yeah, I was thinking it was fantastic. Yeah. But my lease was the next one up, and I think if I remember correctly, I was paying about $1,800 a month, and they got
Wow.
the tag office for $2,600 a month.
Oh.
And the people came to me and said, "Look, we're not going to renew your lease, but you can have first right of
Aw.
refusal on this spot for $2,600 a month."
No.
And I said, "Yes."
Jeez.
Yeah. So
But back
what
then,
year
that
was
was a
that?
lot.
Yeah.
well, I mean, when you're selling scuba equipment,
Of
it's not
course.
like everybody comes in and needs a roll of toilet paper. It was, you had to, less than the industry average here was less than 2% of the students
Uh-huh.
bought equipment. So, and the equipment's where all
Wow.
your money is. You don't make any money off a class.
Might need toilet paper if you suffer from nitrogen narcosis.
Oh,
Come quickly,
yeah,
come
yeah.
up too quickly. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
That's
Well,
all I know about it.
we had a blast.
Crazy how fast Palm Coast grew, though. It's just crazy because, like, even thinking about it, Roadhouse, the Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Do you know it's been here for 5 years already, Alan?
Has it
Oh,
really?
Wow.
They just celebrated their 5-year anniversary like 2 weeks ago. When I was there, and I'm thinking to myself, I was here the day they opened their doors because I sold the trash there. And it was funny because we were on
Wow.
their customer thing, but I was like, 5 years, and you go back and like Outback's been here for 10 plus years, like all of these things. I'm like, where the heck did that time go?
Yeah.
I
You know, and
remember.
Palm Coast has just gotten so big.
I remember back when the shopping center, I don't know what the shopping center name is, but it's the one that Hooligans is in.
yeah.
Home Depot was already here, and they were building that building, that whole big building.
Okay.
And they had the big I-beam girders were all put in place and everything. And there was a guy that was going back and forth in there on a steamroller type thing to compact all the earth down so that they could pour their concrete. And he had this big roll bar sticking up behind the seat, but there was no cage on top. And apparently, one of the I-beams was not bolted in.
Oh no.
So the guy was coming underneath it.
Oh boy.
The roll bar hit it, knocked it off
Oh.
the
That's it
supports.
for 'em.
And that was the end of that. So,
Wow.
that was one of the things when I was running for office is that, I know the history of Palm Coast, and I've seen the trajectory that we've been on, which was one of the reasons I wanted to run because I've seen the pluses and the pitfalls,
Right.
and
Right.
few other people have been here. Come March, I'll have been here 42 years.
Wow.
So
That's amazing.
yeah,
That's amazing.
no,
Yeah, you know the area very well. Like, I've been here since 98. I grew up in Ormond Beach, but I've lived in Palm Coast since 98, and the growth of it has just been exponential.
Yeah.
Like, and it's almost scary, though, because even, like, now, our roads are definitely not, I mean, I don't know if you've been on 100 lately.
Oh, the
but
traffic?
Going past BJ's, oh, my gosh, every day, it's like 45 minutes to get from Culver's down to by that racetrack because
Right.
the traffic is just
Yeah,
so bad.
that's
And then,
true.
God forbid, the school gets out at that time, you're screwed.
well,
You're really screwed. And
I'm a member of the new BJ's
to
over
do.
there. In fact, the
So am
Flagler
I.
the Flagler County Drug Court Foundation had a golf tournament back in the spring, and BJ's was selling their memberships there, and I got to give a big shout out to BJ's because
All right.
they were selling the memberships for $20.
All right.
And $10 of that $20 they were donating to the Flagler County Drug Court Foundation.
right.
So
That's
shout out
great.
to them for that.
Right
yeah.
on. Right on.
So I bought the membership.
I love BJ's. I got
Yeah.
mine for $25 too. I think it's like a $55 one, and they're doing it now. I think it's $20 or $25
Oh,
to
the
sign up
joint.
between now and New Year's.
But I have never
And
stepped
that
foot
place
in the
is
store.
gorgeous.
I have not
Oh,
been in the
you
store
gotta
because
go
I'm
in.
not going to deal with the traffic.
Yeah.
Not, and they've got
You know
great
what's so
prices.
crazy?
Great
Alan,
prices on their
go at 8
gasoline.
o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
go
at
at
work.
8 o'clock in the morning when no one's there. Well, that's when I go in. I drop my daughter off at school, and I usually run in there between 8 and 9. I'm telling you right now, I love Publix. But if you go there, just the steaks alone, you could get a filet mignon, like a nice piece of meat for like $26. If you go to Publix, you're going to spend $50. And
Wow.
these are nice, like these are nice pieces of meat, and all of their vegetables
That sounds
are
good.
so inexpensive, and they're fresh, and like I could go and buy a pack of watermelon there for $2, where I go to Publix, it's $5 for half of that size.
Well,
So
what,
I mean, there
one
are
of the
some great
things
deals there.
one of the things I was excited about is that their gasoline prices are cheaper.
Yes.
But my van,
Yeah.
Oh well.
yeah, my van, which has 352,000 miles on it, averages, if I go downhill with a tailwind,
What, 10 miles at a gallon, maybe?
don't be insulting. I get 12.
Oh, 12. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, 12 miles. So the savings.
A hurricane and fills it up. Fills your tanks up too. And we're sitting behind you for like 10 years.
Yeah, there's no filling.
No.
I can't afford to fill it up.
No.
But the money I would save driving across town to go to BJ's and fill up or get gas and then drive back, it's gone because I don't get enough gas mileage to do it.
No, you don't. No.
So
I wish to God we would get a new Walmart. I don't go to Walmart because it's disgusting. I don't like that store. I like nothing about it. If I need to get anything from Walmart, I get it shipped to the house.
well,
That store has been here since before you got here, right?
Oh,
It's been here that long.
I
me?
remember
No.
this.
Walmart originally was over where Scotty's was.
Oh,
it was
wow.
Walmart first.
Okay.
Oh, well, I don't know, but that Walmart is probably the nastiest Walmart in the whole east coast of Florida. I mean, you go to Ormond Beach, that Walmart is so nice, or St. Augustine, you walk in this one, it's like, what the heck is going on here?
Well,
That's why I
Palm
say
Coast
Target,
has some
but that
interesting
Walmart
people
needs
in
to
it.
be redone.
Oh, come on.
It's not that, though, but, like, you go to Target,
Walmart has
totally different
interesting-
vibe than this Walmart, and it's dirty in there. It's gross. I don't
Well,
know.
it's
maybe I'm
Walmart.
just-
Years ago, again, history lesson, under former Mayor Holland, the city manager, last name was Landon. And Mr. Landon made a handshake agreement with Walmart to build a super Walmart.
Okay.
And the
Yes.
south end of Belterre, Old Kings Road, the south end of Old Kings Road,
Kings Road.
yes, the city went ahead and double laned that, and then put in some aprons for the turn in to where Walmart would be,
Right.
and ran down the water lines, ran down the sewer lines, got everything all set up and ready to go on the taxpayer's dime. And Walmart said, "Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's not gonna
There's
work.
not enough rooftops here. We're not doing that." So I don't know how much it cost us to do that,
Yeah.
but we blew it on that
I
one.
would love a Buc-ee's. There's nothing better than a Buc-ee's. I drive 30 minutes south and north just to go to a Buc-ee's for my child, and that would be awesome to have here. I know we'll never get one, but
well, the it's too close,
Yeah,
close to
way too close.
to Daytona.
yeah.
That thing's huge.
But
Did you see the new Bass Pro Shop right there by Buc-ee's in St. Augustine? That store is beautiful.
no, I haven't seen the one up in St. Augustine.
Yeah, I don't even know. It got up real quick, but it's open now. And
Oh.
it's right by the new Buc-ee's in St. Augustine, Bass Pro. It is a gorgeous store. And they're actually building a Bass Pro, sorry, a little side note. In Willaca, Florida, they are building a Bass Pro resort.
Resort.
Right now. And
Wow.
resort. A Bass Pro resort right on the St. Johns
Wow.
River. And it's going to be beautiful, which Willaca is way out there, but it's hopefully will attract a lot of people and more business out there for that area. But, yeah, you got to go out there and check out that store. I'm a big Bass Pro fan, and that store is
That's cool.
gorgeous. It's better than one in Daytona.
There was another sporting
Wow.
goods store up there before, and it began with a G, but I don't remember the name of it. Big, not as big as Bass Pro Shop, but I don't remember the name of it. But I remember when it was going out of business.
Gander.
Yeah,
Mountain.
Gander
Gander
Mountain.
Mountain.
Yes,
Yes,
Gander
Gander
Mountain.
Mountain,
That's exactly
yes.
what it was. I remember when they were going out of business,
I love Gander Mountain.
they had a big sale on I don't know if I could say firearms and not get us banned on
Yeah,
Facebook.
they have
but
hunting
just say-
equipment. They have
yeah,
Just
Yeah,
pews,
they had a bunch of-
yeah,
you know.
pew-pews.
pews, you know. That's how you do it.
Who would be interested? I wanted to find out a podcast. I have somebody who trains in firearms and does the classes and the whole 9 yards. And I was wondering if women would be interested in this, and men, concealed weapons
Yeah, I have
permits, and he does stuff like that. And I was thinking of also doing a podcast with that because he is licensed and could hold some seminars or classes for everybody if anybody wants
I
to
have a
have
lady.
their,
I have a lady that's a licensed instructor as well. She was
yeah, we
very
need to
good.
get some more women on board for the
Yeah.
concealed permits and stuff. And
Well, you know, our
having
listeners-
that, I think that would be cool too.
Our listening audience
Yes.
is 61.8% women.
Right.
So that
That's
would
right.
that would be good.
Got to teach them how to shoot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Yes.
I don't know.
I did not
Okay,
know
not
that.
everyone. Not
A
everyone.
woman with a firearm, you know that is.
Well, hey.
Don't let it. I didn't say
Well,
that.
that's it. Women with the firearms, they love you.
Like, I didn't say.
Will's over there making sure he doesn't say any of this stuff, and it lands on my shoulder.
Sorry, there's nothing better than watching a woman be a badass with her firearm. I'm sorry. There's something
Well,
like
yeah,
Sarah
it's
Palin.
scary.
I used
It's
to,
all fun and
Sarah Palin
games.
goes out there and shoots and stuff. I always loved her for that. I was like,
well,
I'll go out in Alaska and shoot.
it's-
It was amazing to watch her do that.
It's all fun and games until she's pissed off with you. So no.
Now, finally, you said it. You said it.
Oh, hey.
Oh.
I'm not bulletproof.
You gotta
So
watch out for those girls that are trained.
well, the ones that aren't, I mean, I don't care either way.
You know, Chrissy, Candy has
I
made
mean,
a
I'm not
comment.
man, but there's something cool about that. What?
Candy made a comment that says she thinks that the St. Augustine Walmart is trash. So,
Yeah, but I don't know. It'd be close with ours, pretty much. But Ormond Beach is very nice. I've been to, the best Walmart I've ever been to is in North Carolina, in Murphy, North Carolina. That Walmart
of course,
is
yeah.
everybody from Florida. Everybody from Florida works there. I met people from Jacksonville, Tampa, Daytona Beach. And you go in that Walmart, it's like a Target. It's beautiful, put together, and everything.
You
And
haven't
I'm
seen
like, why
one,
can't
though.
all Walmarts look like this down here?
But there's the Mike Feldbauer has just chimed in on the comments, and he said, "How about a podcast about non-lethal weapons like the burner and so forth?"
Yeah, I remember Mike. Yeah. That'd be perfect. Yeah.
Like a taser?
Well, it's
shoot some
tasers,
pellets.
yes, but the burner is different than that.
Yeah, it's just
It's,
those painful pellets. That,
right.
You know.
We'll have to find some examples, not me, about people that can be tased. We can see it live. action.
Well, you almost got tased a little while ago
I know,
when your defibrillator
Yeah,
started.
I know, right? Yeah, I know,
I'll
right?
invest you guys can-
talks. This is definitely, yeah. Like right now, it's just time to like
I
move
heard
around
that.
and.
Oh boy.
It's wait till I'm so embarrassed because like I
Why?
have to wear this for months and I'm going to be going to my son's weightlifting meet.
Who
And
cares?
this thing, it's like getting prepared. It'll say getting prepared to shock. And when I mean it's loud, you hear alarms and sirens. Or if your vest is not reading correctly, it's like, please move your vest around to get your cardiac, whatever. And it's so loud, though. I'm like, is there a volume switch on this? Or no?
Well,
So I'm sitting
no,
there and
don't.
me cheering for my son going into cardiac, whatever, arrhythmia.
Yeah.
And it's going to shock me or something.
Don't
That's
worry
one thing
about
bad
that.
about this. It's very loud. There's no volume on it at all.
Well, you have to get it hooked up to Bluetooth and put it on an earpiece so only you
yeah.
can hear it.
I actually have a phone that's attached. It's not my phone, but it's a phone that's actually attached to it. So if it does go off and I'm out of it, it actually calls 911 and sends them my location.
Oh.
It's actually a really cool safety tool. And like the vest, when it gets ready to go off, it sends out gel and then it gives 3 seconds to shock you. This thing is actually pretty amazing. It does have a couple ticks and flaws, but for the most part, to think about all the people that have had heart problems and how many lives this thing could potentially have saved, it is kind of cool and a neat device.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, technology
So,
moves
I don't know.
at the speed of lightning anymore. But interesting thing, my grandfather was born just before the Wright brothers flew,
Oh wow.
and he passed away just after we landed on the moon.
Oh wow.
So we went from
Wow.
we
Wow.
went from Wright brothers flight to landing on the moon in one person's lifetime. And now
I wonder
technology.
if it's going to be my lifetime.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
I mean, look at how much.
That's the thing.
crazy.
Right now, technology is moving so fast that we don't even see it moving anymore. It's going
We
so
got
fast.
drones flying over us. We don't know what the hell's going on. I'm wearing a safety vest that can shock the shit out of me right now. Like, there's so much stuff going on right now that's insane.
Yeah,
You just can't even make it up.
it really is. I mean, even this podcast, the stuff that we have on the desk back here that most people can't see, is I mean, it's crazy stuff. We're able to do call-ins and talk to you over the mixer, and we can do remote videos, and once you're back and we can go to do the restaurant review stuff again. We got all new camera equipment and everything for that. The main computer, I call it the supercomputer, that my son built. literally built from scratch.
Great.
Is amazing. It runs. It's the brain that runs everything.
The only problem is, and I'm going to say this, because we were starting to rely so much on technology. Last week when I was at the hospital, all of the systems went down for almost 8 hours. Okay. And with that being said, because we rely so much on technology, they didn't know they were doing surgeries on people. They had no idea what their allergies were. There were things going on because you have to run still still function, but you don't have the information that you need. And
Well,
that's a little
I agree.
scary because even now we rely so much on it that there's no backup in place if think about it, all of our banking, remember a few months ago when all of the banking went down and no one could get into their Bank of America or whatever because everybody, the technology, the system crashed. It's insane to think that all of your money could be tied up in technology and what happens if it goes down, which would be another cool podcast to talk about because that's real.
Yeah, and not only that,
on it, that if we don't have it, what's going to happen?
And not only that, but think about all the books that aren't in paper anymore. They're all electronic. So all of that history and information would also be gone, like you're saying.
Yeah.
True.
But interestingly, my mortgage could be in a spot that one of these drones flies over and does one of these EMF charges and wipes out my mortgage. That would be okay if you.
What about me too? Wait a
You
minute.
got to be in the same bank, man.
I'm just going to throw us out here, to think that it might positively work out in our favor is funny.
Yeah, I know. Well, I can dream.
Does this work for one home or
into my account.
2 homes? I mean,
No,
what are these?
that blows out all the banking information.
Okay.
No,
I'm
they've been
on
throwing in my
board.
house and put $1 million in my account. That would
Yeah,
be nice.
well, I mean, if they can, get rid of your student loan, why can't they get rid of my mortgage?
Yeah, that'd be
you
nice.
know? I mean, if you think
That's the
about
funny
it,
thing. They didn't get rid of the student loan. They tried. They
I
didn't get rid
know,
of it, so
but
that
they
was
tried. They
nice
didn't try to get
one
rid of my
off, but-
mortgage,
No.
and they sure as heck haven't tried to give me insurance.
No.
But if you think about it for a second, the paper money we have is a note. A Federal Reserve note, right? That's what it says on. Well, a note is a promissory note, a promise to pay.
That's right.
But we went off the gold
Right.
standard. We went off the silver
Backed
standard.
by gold, supposedly.
Right.
But,
Used to be.
supposedly.
Used to be. We're
Yeah.
not anymore.
No.
So we're
Do
back.
you ever really think that cash will go away? Because I keep hearing
They
that
are
cash is
trying
really
hard. But if you
non-existent.
think about it, really, I mean, let's
Yeah.
honestly think about it. How many people carry cash versus credit cards? You don't even pay by check anymore because
No.
you got electronic bank transfers that you have auto pay on your. We're already 3/4 of the way there.
That's right.
And it
Yeah.
won't be long before we're there. But this the part about it that's bad.
if the systems go down, you don't have cash.
Well, there's that, yes, but also
You can't use
the
your
government
card. You
will
have to
know.
use cash.
True, but the government will know every penny you have and
That's
where you're
right.
spending every penny.
Oh yeah.
And if
absolutely
you
correct.
want, Joe Shabbat's the rag man to come in and do a little side job at your house and you throw him cash, that's gone. That's
all
all
about
gone.
taxes
All
and-
that's gone.
The big guy upstairs knows where I am at all the time just because I'm hooked on a defibrillator.
Well, they know where we all are just because we all carry a cell phone.
I
Right.
can't-
That's true.
But they don't know what we're spending our money on if we're
Oh,
spending
and
cash.
The LPRs too. When you drive by
Exactly.
someplace.
Oh, yeah, everywhere.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
read the license plate
License plate
numbers
reader,
and
yeah.
facial recognition.
Which
yeah.
reminds me, my van is due this month.
Ooh.
So I got to get it. I got to get it registered. I'm going to drive by and they're going to go,
Yep.
commercial
Did
van.
Juan fix your van? I know you're having some issues with the heat.
No, he hasn't had a chance to
have
look
it
at it yet. I got to get him to look at it. My, 352,000 miles. I have nothing to complain about it. I mean,
He said there was a question, and I didn't listen at the final end. He said there was one question that had him. He literally researched it for 15 minutes after he left the podcast because it made him so mad. He didn't know the answer to it off the top of his head. But he did research it. Now he knows the answer. So he told him to tell him on Tuesday what it was. Somebody had called in about
oh
I wanna
yeah,
say it was like a Jetta or something.
it was a Genesis, I think,
Hybrid.
Oh,
a hybrid. Yeah,
Something with a hybrid.
it wouldn't
Yeah.
start, and we
And he
thought
said
maybe it
he
was a
looked
key
it up and
fob.
everything.
Well,
yeah.
that's cool.
He knows what it is now because he's like, that was the only thing I couldn't figure it out right now. I'm like, Well, you've answered a lot of questions. You know, you got to research some stuff. I mean, that's especially the new stuff, the hybrids. Not everyone knows about those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
And
Unless you
well,
work
I
on
don't
them
know if we're
every
going to
day.
have his show this week because it's New Year's Eve. I mean,
Oh.
Christmas Eve that we would be recording it.
Yeah.
So we may be jumping ahead to next week, the following. Well, actually, the following
Yeah.
week is New Year's, isn't it?
New Year's, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he
We might have to pre-record on Monday or something.
yeah, we might have to do it. Won't be able to do it live, but we can do a pre-recorded one. Speaking of which, our half-hour show is now 1 hour and 9 minutes long.
Oh.
Well, it was great talking to you guys,
It was
and I'll
great
be there
talking
next
to you,
week or the week after, whenever we.
Well, don't rush it.
Take your time.
Don't
Take your
rush it. We need you to be here in one piece
It's
and
gonna stay
vertical.
the same. It's going to stay the same, so don't worry. It's the hot take.
This,
with Chrissy.
hopefully, this 1 hour a day that I get will make me sane and stay sane the next few weeks.
Well, see, you got to be on the show. You might not have physically been
Right.
here, and we can always set up the
No, I know.
remote.
That's right.
So
Yep. No, we'll definitely try for next week, and hopefully after the first of the year, full speed ahead with Foodie Fridays again, the Realtor show that we've got going on. I've got the Doctor, a Lawyer show. We've got a couple podcasts coming up that are going to be really exciting.
we
so
have-
I'm super excited.
it looks like we're going to have an IT guy that can come in and answer computer questions for people. We
Super
have
cool.
Yeah, it really will be. We have another
I
guy.
have a tattoo artist that wants to come and talk to people about tattoos. I thought that was super cool.
Hey, why not? Everybody, I think, we need to have a good array of entertainment for people
Yes, definitely.
and news. But we've gone long.
Different bases are covered.
We've gone long, and I think, well, actually, the number of people watching picked up a little bit, but we've gone long. I think we ought to cut it out here. And for everybody that's listening, in case we don't have a show next week,
Can I do it?
you can do it.
Oh, man.
We'll keep you all
Thank you.
posted. We'll keep you posted.
Merry Christmas,
And
everybody.
thank you for listening. With the
Merry
hot
Christmas, everybody.
And thank you listening for the hot take with Chrissy and Will.